Welcome back to a brand new Clash Royale video, guys. My name is Patrick, aka Chief Pat, and today we're going to be opening up a fairly big challenge chest and getting into a couple of matches on my main Chief Pat account. And as you can see, I did a grand challenge over the weekend. I ended up getting 10 wins, so I wanted to open up the chest for you guys and see if we get any goodies inside of it. Alright, so as you can see, guaranteed 14,000 gold and 670 cards. Starting off with gold, we're going to get 9 other types of cards inside of this chest. We've got a single Ice Golem, which is going to be the first Ice Golem I unlocked on my main account. 13 Mega Minions, obviously those help a lot. I'm really trying to get more Mega Minions. It seems like it might be the most popular card towards the top of the leaderboard right now, so inside of the entire game, it seems to be used almost the most. But let's go and keep opening up. We got 4 lightning spells. That means we already have 7 epics already in this chest, which means the final card is going to be a legendary, which is a lumberjack. So that lumberjack can now be upgraded to level 4. However, unfortunately, I don't have enough gold to actually make that happen. I'm sort of out of gold on my main account, so hopefully I can do that sometime soon. But let me go ahead and play this Three Musketeers deck for you guys. It's actually been pretty crazy and racking me up a lot of wins. Now, I'm going to start with Three Musketeers in the back. You can see what's inside of this deck. I've actually played this deck on my account before. We've got 2 different sets of minions, as well as the Ice Spirit, the Zap, the Fireball, the Elixir Collector, as well as the Giant to provide a little bit of tankiness. And we're going to stop his push right in its tracks down the right-hand lane. Musketeers are going to clean up that Ice Wizard, and already we've started a pretty dominant beginning to this game, and we can go ahead and crush it down this right-hand lane. Now, Minion Horde's going to do a decent amount of work, but with my Musketeers and Minions hammering away, they're going to take it out no problem. His Baby Dragon's going to run down the lane as well, but that's going to be a pretty solid start to the game. We can go ahead and play our Giant in the back and a reset for the rest of it. Now, as far as cards go, you can see I just unlocked the Ice Golem on my main account, and I still have that chest or that pack I can buy in the shop. You guys probably got the same pack. It's 100 gems or 150 gems for 100 Ice Golems, and I think that might get me up to level 6 as far as my Ice Golems go. I don't think it'll get me up to level 7. I think level 6 would be the max it would get me to, but I'm definitely thinking about buying that soon because I want to play the Ice Golem. I'm obviously not going to be able to play it towards the top for a long time because I don't want to spend $1,000 to max out a new card and then have another one come out 2 weeks later. So instead, I'm just going to save up for a little bit, and I will use the Ice Golem inside of challenge mode, and using the challenges, that should be able to help out a lot using that level 6 Ice Golem. Alright, so meanwhile down the left-hand lane, the Prince and the Ice Wizard did end up reaching the tower, and I'm going to get aggressive and play a Giant right here. I was hoping my Giant would be fast enough to take the tower aggro, but instead the tower actually kills 2 of my minions, and meanwhile the Baby Dragon's going to be doing work on my minions as well. So unfortunately that push could have gone a whole lot better, but instead we're going to go have to reset from the back. I've got the Fireball in my hand. I'm going to throw that right on top of the Minion Horde. The Baby Dragon actually will get a hit off against the tower, so we're going to be fairly even down the left-hand lane. However, it's pretty obvious who has the elixir advantage inside of this battle. So let's go and go for the kill shot. I'm going to split 2 Musketeers to the right, 1 to the left, and he's actually going to play an X-Bow for the very first X-Bow of the game, and this is going to be something super annoying to deal with. However, the X-Bow is sort of nice because it doesn't drop aggro of the Giant as soon as it gets close to it, just like the Mortar does. And now that that's happened, take a look as that Baby Dragon goes down to my Minion Horde. I was trying to zap it to make sure none of my minions died whatsoever. And as my minions and my Musketeer lock onto the tower, that's going to be tower number 1. 3 Musketeers in the center is going to mean tower number 2 is going down. And just like that, in a blink of an eye, I'm going to go from 0 towers to 2 towers. And that will be the end of the game. From like, I think 23 seconds left, 1 tower died, and then at 20 seconds left, the other tower died. So the game flipped on its head just like that. That was pretty much a result of getting our Elixir Collectors down over and over again, and he actually never played the Rocket until just then. He could have used that on my Collectors way earlier inside of the match, but that's going to wrap up the game for a 2-0 victory and 21 cups against my man Basel from Kuwait. So that sort of gives you an idea about how you have to play this deck. It can be a pretty risky deck to play for trying to defend against, because you don't have a lot of great ground defensive cards. You have the Ice Spirit, which is a good defensive card, and then that's pretty much it. You have to pray that your 3 Musketeers do well in defense. You've got the Minions and the Minion Hordes, which are obviously strong defensively, but they can't stop something that's sprinting at you like a Prince. So that's where the Ice Spirit kicks in and really has to save your bacon towards the end of the battle. But anyways, let's go and start it off. He's got a Miner in the back. Of course, he has a Poison spell as well. I was hoping my Musketeers would lock onto the Miner, and then I'd be able to do work down that left-hand side of the map, but instead I've got a couple of like 1 HP Musketeers. We're going to get one shot off on the tower before the minions wake their way over to my side. One Elixir Ice Spirit will be able to stop that one minion that might have done like 1 to 200 damage against my tower. I'm not sure if it was worth it, one Elixir to save 100 to 200 damage, but we'll find out a little bit later in this battle. This battle is completely even right now, basically, and we've got a giant stumbling, bumbling, and rumbling down that left-hand side of the map. Of course, he has to have that Inferno Tower. So we got to find out how we're going to play against this. I'll play my minions to start it off. Then I'm going to get ready to play a minion horde. I was hoping he would arrow those minions down. Yeah, but he arrows my minion horde instead. Looks like this guy's a little bit smarter than I expected, unfortunately. Giant's going to keep pumping down the left-hand side of the map. It's going to get one single hit off against the tower as his miner locks onto my crown tower. Again, you should never be worried generally about a miner just locking onto your tower by itself if it's like normally leveled. Zap Spell is going to help kill the Musketeer as well as those minions. And again, the game is nearly even. And we need to rethink where we're going to place this Elixir Collector if we decide to place it again. So obviously we don't want to place it towards the bottom left or the bottom right for the minor reasoning, but you have to keep in mind this guy does have a poison spell as well. So if I play the Elixir Collector right in front of my King Tower, then he can use his poison and get an insane amount of value. So right now I'm just going to play it in the back right again, making sure to keep it away from my already injured tower. Fireball is going to be able to stop that mini P.E.K.K.A. and Guard's push. Musketeers are going to run down the lane as well, and now we can start making our way down the left-hand side again and to hopefully be able to make a game-winning push out of this one. All right, so again, miner onto the tower. I'm debating what to do. I'll play my Zap spell first, but that honestly was a little bit of a waste. Of course, you guys know what's coming right now. The poison spell is likely to be up next. There it goes down the left-hand side of the map. It's going to start poisoning my Musketeers. It's going to start poisoning my Giants as well. The Inferno Tower is going to be slightly distracted by the Musketeers, which is actually really good. And now take a look at the left-hand side of the map. He has to arrow down everything. And he does. I thought I was going to get that tower right there because I had so many troops, but unfortunately for me, he actually had just enough arrow power to take out those Musketeers that were low on HP. His Musketeer, yet again, is going to get some good value by attacking my Giant and everything else right there. Fireball is going to go down. I don't want to waste my Zap spell because I don't think it would have done too much anyways. We've gone into sudden death, and with a minute left, it's really hard to get exactly what we need, but this is where he just makes a mistake. He plays his poison spell, and guess what, guys? Playing his poison spell means that's time for me to play my Three Musketeers, and without the poison spell to stop them, I have a feeling that our funny friend right here is in a lot of trouble. Musketeer is going to lock onto the tower. 2 more onto the Inferno Tower. Fireball is going to go down as well. And just like that, one mistake from Storm is going to end the battle right there and to give us the 3 Musketeer push that we needed to end the game. As soon as he dropped that fireball, or that poison spell, I knew that was my chance to win and pick up a W, and that's exactly what I did by keeping my 3 Musketeers out of the poison, realizing that was my time to strike, and wrapping up the game. All right, let's hop into one more battle using this deck. I'm going to go ahead and split the Musketeers yet again to see what our opponent's going to play. 2 Musketeers on the right, 1 on the left. I found it's a little bit easier to split the Musketeers that way than the other way around. Sometimes I mess it up and 3 Musketeers go to one side, and then I have a very unfortunate fireball in my face. Meanwhile, we've made our way down the right-hand lane, but he's actually going to play a free spell, which honestly you don't see too much lately, but they're going to do work. Minions are going to help out against these barbarians, but I think that Musketeer is probably going to die anyways. And as the minions clean up that final barbarian, we ended up getting a little bit of damage, about 500 done on that left-hand side, and now my minions are going to get some damage done as well, and he's actually not going to check those, which is going to do about maybe 700 to 800 damage against his tower. So honestly, I didn't think we'd get too much out of the push, but it looks like we're going to get more than what we bargained for. Both towers are fairly chipped, and now we can both reset with our Elixir Collectors. I'm going to save the Fireball inside of my hand, and as soon as I see an Elixir Collector there and I have my Fireball, I'm waiting for him to make a mistake and go ahead and play something near that Elixir Collector. Now, obviously, he's not going to let me play that Elixir or that Minion Horde for free, so he's going to poison down my tower as well as the Minion Horde, but I'm going to go ahead and just play my Zap to stop the Knight and the Hog Rider in its place. So honestly, I think that was a fairly Elixir decent trade. Let's go ahead and prepare for our Giant down the right-hand lane. And here it goes right now. So Giant's making its way down. I'm debating what to play, and instead of waiting for the 3 Musketeers, I find a little bit more value in dropping the Fireball. That's going to go ahead and take out the Cannon and the Elixir Collector. The Giant's going to start making its way to the tower, but yeah, with Barbarians and Archers in my face, not really too much I can do. And now I've got to be a little bit conservative with my push. All right, so debating between the Minion Horde and the Three Musketeers. I end up playing the minion horde, and he's going to go ahead and push with the Hog Rider and the Knight down the lane. A very creative push for him, but luckily for us, just as he hits our tower, we're going to be able to play our Three Musketeers on defense. But of course, the free spell has gone down, which means he's actually going to take the very first tower of the game. So fairly unfortunate. However, if you look on the right-hand side, he did end up letting me get to that tower with my minions. And now that he's poisoning down the Three Musketeers, I don't think he has enough to take out my Giants. I can play my Fireball onto the Barbarians as well as zap them down. And that's going to be a very dead tower in the right-hand lane, and we're going to go ahead and even things up. So just like that, things turn right back in our favor, and you guys know what time it is. My favorite move in the game, Three Musketeers in the very center, going to lock onto that left-hand side, and as soon as I do that, he's going to play a very well-played Knight to stop my Musketeers in their tracks. I only got about 600 damage right there, which is fairly disappointing. His Barbarians are going to take my minions to the face. I've got a Fireball in my hand, waiting for him to play his Hog Rider, and there it goes right now, where we'll get some added value with that Hog Rider right there. And waiting to see what he does. Poison spell is going to go down. I did end up playing my minion horde right on top of it, so fairly annoying, but we can go ahead and play our Giant and see if we can maybe make something happen down this left-hand lane. I don't think it actually will happen. We're just going to keep getting stuck on this cannon over and over again. I feel like my card rotation has just been a little bit off. So let me go ahead and play my Three Musketeers yet again, but unfortunately they're not going to split to where he is going to just go ahead and drop an Elixir Collector with 40 seconds left. I don't know if I agree with that Elixir Collector if I were him, because he's obviously not going to be making that Elixir back throughout the rest of this battle. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and have my my Musketeers clean up that left-hand lane. He's going to play his Hog Rider, so I will have to distract that with my Elixir Collector to make sure he doesn't get too much value. Let's go and play a Giant down the left-hand side of the map, holding on to my Three Musketeers. This might be the time for us to shine. Instead, I'll just Fireball down all of that garbage right there to get our Giant heading towards the tower. There's 7 seconds left on the clock. The Giant's going to be beating down on that tower. The tower's all the way down to 300, and the Giant's going to get one last hit onto the tower to give us a 2-crown-to-1 victory, a very well-fought one for 18 trophies and 20 gold on our main account. So definitely closer than we would have liked, but guys, that's what I've been doing on my main account, just keeping on my push and doing some good battles. I hope you guys are pushing pretty well as well. And yeah, that was a pretty decent challenge chest towards the very beginning of the video that I'm going to use to upgrade my Lumberjack, as well as probably play the Ice Golem inside of my next video. So yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smack a like button, and until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace out.